Recording. Okay, welcome everybody to Monday class. We are doing 2 songs this week, and the 2 songs are Try to Remember and the 12th of Never. So, I've already given announcements. If you weren't on the announcements, tough. No. No, what do we know about Try to Remember? First of all, I think I'm going to start with just playing the song, and that will act as kind of a sound check. And the song I'm going to do on the song setup, which is guitars 3/4 at 110, which might be a little fast. Some of the song setups come up, no, I'm sorry, this one comes up smooth orchestral 3/4 at 110. Other organs come up guitars 3/4 at 90 or 91. So that's a 20-point difference. So you're going to have to put it where it works for you. I'm just going to use the song setup, and we'll use this as a sound check. Was the sound okay?
Yes.
Yes? Good. Okay. Now you guys know you can mute and unmute yourself. Always when I'm playing, try to keep yourself muted so that the microphones don't interfere and we don't have any problems. You guys have been so good about stuff like that. Okay. Beautiful song. This was the very first song to be performed in the musical comedy, The Fantastics. That was one that I had not seen. I don't know the story behind the Fantastics, but take a look at who wrote the song. The words were written by Tom Jones. Oh, and they are famously rhymed. September, remember, so tender, ember, December. And then you have the LO, the LLOW things that go out throughout the song. Mellow, yellow, callow, fellow, willow, pillow, billow, follow, hollow, mellow. So yeah, this has a lot of the rhyming words that go throughout, and that's what makes the song actually easy to remember. Originally, this was sung by Jerry Orbach. Do you guys know who Jerry Orbach is? First of all, he was the guy who was in the original off-Broadway production of The Fantastics. Most of you know him as as Lenny from Law and Order. Jerry Orbach. You will also know him from being in, what else was he in? Dirty Dancing. He was the dad in Dirty Dancing. So this was originally sung by Jerry Orbach in the off-Broadway. So I thought that was pretty good trivia. Now, in 1965, there were some versions that were done by Ed Ames, Roger Williams, Barry McGuire, the Kingston Trio, the Sandpipers, and the Brothers Four. Also, Harry Belafonte. Eddie Fisher did it in 1965 along with Patti Page. Andy Williams did it in 1966. The Temptations, really, in 1967. Perry Como, who really made it famous in 1968. Here's one, Roy Orbison in 1969 and Gladys Knight in 1975. So it's just one of those classic songs that people really, really, really liked, and a lot of different people did it. Did I add any extra chords? But of course, that's what I do. So get out your pencils. And you know, extra chords are 100% optional. You never need to put them in. If you do put them in pencil, and then if there's one that you like, just learn one new chord. Don't push yourself to try to learn them all. Just learn one and see if you like it. Okay, the first line, you may put a 7 on the G minor. Now, you don't have to because G minor is hard enough already. G minor is G and B flat. Pointer on G, thumb on B flat. If you add the 7, it's the third finger on the F. F, G, and B flat. Second line. The F chord is good for one measure. Measure 2 over the F for the word slow. D minor, D and M, dinosaur minor, D and F. D and F. You may put a 7 on the G minor. Remember, 7s are always optional, whether we add them or whether they're already above the box. The third line, G minor, you may add the 7 to the G minor. Fourth line, the F is good for one measure. Over the F for the word green, the second measure, put in a D minor, dinosaur minor, D and F. You may put a 7 on the G minor. Let's go to the next page. First line, no changes. But look at all those 7s they tried to add to those minor chords. Remember, if you add 7s to minor chords, they are 3-fingered chords, and you don't need the 7. A minor is C and A. A minor 7 is C, G, and A. And you can actually use your thumb for the G and the A at the same time. D minor, D, and F. If you wish to add the 7, it is C, D, and F. G minor is G and B flat. If you wish to add the 7, it is F. F, G, and B flat. And then C or C7. C7 is C and B flat. Let's go to line 2. That very first F can be an F major 7. I'm sorry, do we have a question? Not yet? F major 7, F capital M-A-J 7. It's a 2-fingered chord, E and F. Remember, major 7s are always the letter -1. It's the one right next door to the left. Yes?
I just joined. What song are you doing?
We are doing Try to Remember on page 304 in book number 274.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Line 2, second measure, the B flat. If you wish, you may make it a B flat major 7, B flat, capital M-A-J 7. The other note is an A and B flat right next to each other. And you know what? I don't care what fingers you use on those. The next chord is a G minor. You can use G minor, or you can cross it out and replace it with a very simple E flat. I like it better with the E flat, by the way. So plain old E flat, elephant flat. The C7 is fine, C and B flat. The third line, no changes, woohoo! Fourth line, the F chord is good for one measure. Second measure over the quarter rest, put in a D minor. D and F. Make that B flat a B flat major 7. B flat, capital M-A-J 7, A and B flat. The last line, First measure over the A for the first follow. Which follow do you want? Pick one. No, it's the first follow. Put a C or a C7, chicken 7, C and B flat. And then the last F is good. Any waltz is going to be pretty on this. The easy waltz is fine, which would be like a waltz full band, but any waltz is going to work well, anywhere between 90 and 110. I actually kind of liked Bistro Italiano at 100, but put the altar style on. I think you'll like that one. It just gives it a little bit of flavor. Okay, let's do some fingering. Remember, fingering is also subjective. You may not like mine and your fingers might want to do something else. So erase mine and put your own in as long as you're making pretty music. And I am breaking rules. I'm going to have you putting a thumb on a black key. Sometimes you have to. And now that we're in advanced classes, we are allowed to do whatever we want. A5, 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 G4, F3, B flat 1, B flat 1, there it is, there's that break the rule, B flat 1, B flat 1, C2, D3, second line, C2, low A1, F5, C2, D3, B flat 1, G5, D2. Third line, A5, 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 G4, F3, B flat 1, B flat 1, B flat 1, B flat 1, C2, D3. Fourth line, C2, A1, F5, C2, D3, B flat 1, G5, D2, check mark. Top of the next page, C5, 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 C5. And in case I missed one, C5. B flat 4, A3. The B flats are all 4s. A3, G2. A3, 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 A3. G2, F1. G can either be 2 or 4. If you make it a 4, you might want to put a little arrow on that note because going from a 1 to a 4, from an F to a G, is a little bit unconventional, but it works very well. D1, E3, C1, or whatever finger gets you there first. Third line, A5, 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 G4, F3, B flat 1, B flat 1, B flat 1, B flat 1, C2, D3. Fourth line, A5, F3. Now, the A's and the F's, I just stuck with A5, F3 all the way through. You can use whatever two fingers you want. The very last follow, the quarter note to the half note with the tie, I did a finger roll, which would be a little squiggly line between A and F. And you're going to put your pinky on A and grab every note in between. Little finger roll. It's kind of like a glissando, but you don't have enough notes to do a glissando. So you just kind of roll your fingers down. And every note gets a finger, and you end up on one on F. Try it. See what you think. You can end a lot of songs like that, and that just gives you a little bit of oomph. Also, at the top of page 2, I added a duet. Now, if you're already on duet, you might want to go to a lower keyboard and try a different sound, or try a different preset one that's going to give you a little more stuff going on. Let's try the Bojangles, no, not Bojangles, the Bistro Italiano with the altar style. Let's do it at 100. And we're going to use rhythm preset 0, which gives you a musette on top and a mandolin. All right. Didn't sound like a musette when it was that loud. Follow along if you wish. If you've got your organ real close, sit down at your organ and play along. See what you think. Well, we're doing excellent on time. Very good. Questions?
I have one.
Yes.
If you didn't put on rhythm preset 0, what would have been the voices?
Yeah, I was on rhythm preset 0. It was a musette.
Yeah, but if you didn't do 0, if you didn't do rhythm preset 0.
Yes, I did.
No, if you did not, what would it be?
Oh, okay. Well, if I did not, because if you didn't like it, then you just go down the line and check. If you want an organ and a flugelhorn, you'd go to 1. You know, that's just go down the list and try them. That's what you do. You just go down the list and try them. Let me go back to Bistro. There we go. And if those of you that have the number 4, some of you it's number 3 over here, it'll bring up all your sounds in your window. That way you don't have to guess. And just try them. And when you find something that works for you, mark it in your music. So for instance, you might like the trumpet-trombone combination that's on number 10, but it's on the lower. So then you would put rhythm preset 10 L and just write it in. That way you'll know. It's easy that way to follow. Those of you that like to save your presets, please feel free to save your presets. When you find something you like, then you would go, okay, I like this one for the first verse. Memorize A1 with style. Yes. With transpose, doesn't matter. I always hit yes just because I always do. And then you turn your memorize button off and it's there. The next verse, or when you get to the top of the second page, try a different sound, different preset, save it. So then all you have to do is save it to A2. So that the next thing that you do would be to just go from A1, you have a 1-button push. You just punch number 2, and then your new setup with whatever presets you had are there.
It's a good idea.
Yes, it actually, it saves you time. If you notice, all my concerts are previously set up onto my A, B, and C banks, so that all I have to do is the next button down. Brings me to my next song. Sometimes I use 2 or 3 for one song. It's a 1-button push. It makes life very easy. Anybody who is questioning how to do that, call me, make an appointment, and we will sit down at your organ and figure out how to do it. It's very easy once you do it once or twice.
Dawn,
Yes,
Ken,
yes.
hey, I played this on country on 4/4,
Okay,
and I used picking guitars, and then I put all the guitar sounds on everything, on solo, and also on, I used the steel guitar and
Okay.
country guitar, and I'll tell you what, it sounded beautiful.
I'll bet it did. Yeah, yeah.
Of course, Ken.
Now, when you have a 3/4 song, and this is an advanced class, please feel free to open up your entire world of rhythms by going to the 4/4 rhythms and trying it. Now, you have to make sure that the first note of every measure is the first beat of every measure. Usually you have to speed that 4/4 up a little bit in order to keep it so it doesn't drag. When you add one extra beat per measure, it drags it back down time-wise. So you have to speed that up a little bit, and yeah, you can come up with some very interesting recipes.
I used 120.
Okay, that's it. See, that would be about right.
Yeah.
Good. Good suggestion. Okay, any other questions at this time before we move on to our next song?
Dawn, what were the extra chords you played at the end?
I did not play any extra chords at the end. I just played an F chord, and I did a little finger roll on the right hand.
Okay.
That's all I did. And then you push your ending button and let it do its thing.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. Okay, we done with Try to Remember? Good song. Yeah, but Jerry Orbach singing it? That really threw me for a loop. Yeah. Who knew? Mr. Law and Order himself. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the 12th of Never. The 12th of Never is a fairly easy song, so I decided to pump it up a notch, and I'm going to give you 3 completely different arrangements just to get you going, okay? Now, what do we know about the 12th of Never? Well, the 12th of Never was a popular song, 1956. It was first recorded by Johnny Mathis. Yep, Johnny Mathis, 1957. Now, initially, he said he didn't want to do the song. He didn't like it. Don't like the song, I'm not singing it. Which was actually released as the flip side to Chances Are. So it became popular because people bought his popular song, and then they played the flip side and went, oh, we kind of like this too. And so it became very popular. The tune, except for the bridge, and remember the bridge is always the part of the song in the middle that doesn't match anything else, is adapted from the Riddle song, also known as I Gave My Love a Cherry. I gave my love a cherry without a stone. I gave my love a chicken without a bone. Remember that song? We learned that as kids. Okay, that was an old English folk song. Mathis' version reached number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100. So little did he know the flip side song to Chances Are that he didn't like also hit number big in the top 10. Okay, Donny Osmond released a version in 1973, which reached number 1 in Europe and number 8 in the United States. Other notable recordings, and this should help you a little bit with choosing rhythms, Tammy Wynette in 1970. So country would be just fine. Put it on twangy country and have a blast. 1995, Elvis Presley did it. Now, I know what you're going to say. Elvis wasn't alive in 1995. They did a compilation from a 1974 rehearsal recording. Okay, so they found an old rehearsal recording of Elvis where he sang this, and they put it on a 1995 album. All right, so I'll bet you he did that very nicely. I did not get a chance to hear what that actually sounded like. All right, There is no song set up for this, although I don't have an aria, so it might be on the aria. I do not know. I do not know. So I am going to play one of my arrangements. And you can do this on so many different ways. You can do write the songs. You can do smoky strings. You
Only
can
aria.
do
Johnny chances.
just about anything will work. Smooth piano 4/4. For those of you with the Freedom threes, gospel guitar heaven. Do not forget about that gospel guitar heaven on your Freedom threes. It's fabulous for ballads. Mellow, heartfelt. Let's see, I need people to mute here. Got too many microphones coming through at a time. Okay. Okay, mellow heartfelt. Heartfelt is also the same as heart songs, which is in most of your pianists. If you have easies, smooth guitarist, which is guitars 4/4. And in your guitarist rhythms, guitars 4/4, fabulous rhythm. I actually did my 3 arrangements on soft and easy guitars, smooth piano 4/4 with the alter style, and my go-to background strings 101. So the first one I'm going to play is soft and easy guitars. I'm using rhythm preset 1. I'm just going to play it and then I'll tell you where I made my changes.
Dawn, it is not on the aria.
It's not. Wow, I'm shocked. This is a good song.
Yeah, well, I have an aria, so I just went and looked. It is not on there.
Oh, okay.
That's the first
Wow.
time I've joined your meeting.
Oh, thank you. Are you Rita?
Rita. Mm-hmm.
Nice to meet you, Miss Rita.
Yeah.
Nice to have you.
I know most of the stuff I'm already doing that you've told me so far.
I'm sure, but it'll be a good review. And if anything
no.
we can do to keep you motivated.
No, I just do it myself. I just automatically do it, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very
But I
nice.
play piano too.
Ah, okay.
Been
Well, thanks
playing-
for joining us, Rita.
Been
Welcome.
for years, yeah.
Okay. Soft and easy guitars. Now, where did I make my changes? Measure 1 I started. Measure 1 starts where the silly sign is. And then measure 17, which is the second page, top line, second measure. You might want to put a little 17, put a little circle around it. Hold me close. That starts measure 17, which is the bridge. Then measure 25. Now, measure 24 is line 3, last measure, where it says April snow. I am inserting a measure 25. So what I did is I put 2 lines, 2 parallel lines between snow and aisle, and we're just adding a measure or 2, if you wish, of fill-in. Why? That gives you a chance, if you don't want to do fill-in, use your virtuoso, that acts as a beautiful fill-in.
Yeah.
1 or 2 measures gives you a chance to change a preset or touch a button, and then I added the golden harp.
I was gonna say you added the golden harp.
Most definitely, yes. The golden harp I added for when I went back to the silly sign. Then you have the pickup note, and it says DS al coda. Go back to the silly sign, which is at the beginning of the song. Play until it says to coda, which is at the bottom of the first page, and then just jump across the aisle to a coda. Remember, codas send you forward. You never go backwards to codas. Never. Okay?
I was out there looking at the organ. What rhythm did you use?
I
Yeah.
used on that one soft and easy guitar.
Okay.
Okay?
Tempo?
I have used it with Swain's Way even.
That would work too. Absolutely. My tempo is between 80 and 88, so I just picked 84. And it just depends on how you're feeling and how much coffee you had that day.
I play it a little bit faster.
Yeah, a little faster is fine.
Yeah.
Rhea, on your aria, you can use Johnny Chance's. That works.
I'll bet Johnny Chances is fabulous. Yes. Yep.
I
There's
bet
so
Johnny-
many things you can use
I
on
love
this.
Johnny Chances. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
one of my favorites.
Yep. So many things you can use. It's fabulous. It's a nice song. So now we've done the roadmap. Are there any questions about the roadmap? Where we're going? Where does that DS al coda send you back to? So I made my changes. I started with one thing. When I got to the bridge, which was measure 17, the second measure of the top line of the second page, I changed the preset again, and all I did was add some string tabs. You can either add string 16, strings 8, or both. I just hit those string tabs, and it just kind of filled it up a little bit, filled up the space. And then when I got to the added measure, that added measure that I put in there, I put in the golden harp. And you can use whatever sound you like. I took off the genius and just left it at the harp. I like that sound. It was very pretty. But if you want it to be anything else, I think bells originally came up on that one. All right, let's do some chords. Did I add extra chords? Very few in this song. This is
Yay!
Yay! You guys are bad.
I know we are.
First of all, this song is in the key of G. How do I know that? It is the last chord. Why do I need to know that? So you know which chord to start your introduction on. You start your introduction on the key of the song. So you would start it with a G chord. E minor is E and G.
It's a song I've heard sung at weddings, you know.
Yeah, it's a beautiful song. The 12th of Never is doesn't have any. The 12th of Never is till the end of time, infinite. There is no number there, so it's kind of a romantic song. Yep. I need you, oh my darling, like roses need the rain. You ask how long I'll love you, and I'll tell you true. Until the 12th of never, I'll still be loving you. Oh, how sweet is that? It is. It's a very romantic song. All right, E minor is E and G, third finger and thumb. Second line, D is just D with fourth finger. If you wish to play D7, it is C and D. The G, the second G in the second line over the word darling, make it a G major 7, capital MAJ7. Remember, the rule for major 7s is the letter -1. So your two notes are F sharp and G, and that's a jazz chord. That's a jazz chord. Pretty chord. The A minor, you may put a 7 on the A minor, but that turns it into a 3-fingered chord. C, G, and A, if you wish to play it. The next line, third measure, the G, make it a G major 7. F sharp and G. The last line of that page, no changes. Woohoo! Top line of the second page, no changes and nothing new. Second line, no changes, but you have a new chord. You have a B chord. Thumb on B. If you wish to play B7, it is A and B. A and B, and you can just play that with your thumb on the crack of the A and the B at the same time. And the rest of the song, no changes. Woohoo, I know Beverly's excited. Okay. So the first arrangement I did, I'd use 3 presets. I set up my soft and easy guitars, rhythm preset 1 at 84. Now remember, anything is good for your tempo. I used the upper keyboard for the first part of the song. When I got to measure 17, I added a string tab 16. If you wanted to add 8 as well, or both of them, please feel free. At measure 25, which is that measure we're adding before we go to the DSL coda, okay, you want to turn on your golden harp. And you can use any pattern. I just used the up and down pattern, and I liked the harp sound. Okay, the second arrangement I did was with smooth piano 4/4 with the alter style. The first part of the song, I used rhythm preset 0, and you can either do the upper keyboard or the lower keyboard for something different. At measure 17, I added a duet harmony for the upper keyboard. At measure 25, instead of the FX, I did the virtuoso. And then I also added the golden harp, so that when you went back, you had that golden harp feature again. I like that. That was a nice
noticed it.
a nice change. Yeah, it worked very well. Okay, let me play on this arrangement. See what you think. Although my favorite arrangement is actually the last one that I did. But let's try this one. Okay, I realize we haven't done fingering yet either, so get your pencils out. We'll do some fingering. Nothing hard here, though. This is pretty easy one to do. D1, 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 all the way across. E2, G4, A5, G4, E2, D1. Check mark. The check mark means take a breath with your hand, lift it and reposition it. G1, A2, 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 B3, D4, E5, D4, D4, B3, A2, G1, A2, 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 B3, D4, E5, D4, B3, A2, check mark, B5, A4, G3, E2, D1, E2, G3, A4, G3, G3, E2, E2, G3. Check mark. Now there's a couple of places in there, whatever finger gets there first is absolutely okay. Hold me close, D4, C3, B2. Second line, E5, D4, D4, C3, B2. Check mark. B4, A3, G2, B4, A3, A3, G2, F sharp 1. We're breaking that rule again. High E5, that's why. D4, then you have your break with your extra measure. The pickup note D is a 1. Let's go to the coda. G3, E5, A4, G3, E2, D1, E2, G3, check mark, G1, and the last line, A2, A2, C4, B3, D5. Now you also noticed I did a little arpeggio at the end. So underneath the D on the third line, write a B. B as in baby. And underneath that, put a G on the second line, G as in gorilla. And then you might want to just do a little squiggly line with an arrow up, meaning you're going to roll it from the bottom up. And then hold it as a chord. And that's just a nice way to end the song.
A quick glissando on that.
You want to put a glissando on it as well?
A quick glissando, you can go all the way up an octave.
You could, absolutely. That would be pretty as well.
Yeah.
See, now you're thinking like arrangers. What a wonderful thing.
Hey, Dawn, this is Joe. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, I noticed in the beginning where you have those like 4 notes together, you kind of staggered the timing on that. You didn't just play
I
the
did.
quarter notes. You just, held one, shortened
did.
it, held it, shortened
Correct.
it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I always play it the way I'm singing it in my head. And sometimes that means I'm going to change the timing of the quarter notes. Remember, this is easy play. Easy play is just a guide. You might want to hold a note longer and make that a dotted quarter note with an eighth note. So it's up to you as to how you time those quarter notes so that they don't sound like plink, 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 plink.
Right.
Okay? So you might want to make them sound a little more melodic. Sing. Always play the song the way you would sing it, whether you're singing it in your head or you're singing it out loud. Okay, but excellent noticing. I am going to now play it on my favorite way to play it, which is on strings 101. I've got it set at 84. If you guys want to play along with me, make sure you're muted. sit at your instruments, put it on easy only, and go ahead and play along with me. And that would make it fun. All right, this is Strings 101. Now what I did for arranging is I used rhythm preset 0. I started on the lower keyboard, which is a violin. At measure 17, which is the bridge, I went to the upper keyboard, which is full strings. I did the fill-in on the virtuoso, and then I went to the alter style. I did not put in the golden harp this time. I went to the alter style for going back to the silly sign, because that gives me enough of a fill-in that sounds like a golden harp, so I didn't need the golden harp on top of that. So these are just little tools to put in your arranging toolbox to pull out whenever you feel like arranging a song. Okay, let's try the 12th of Never. Introduction. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. Oops, I goofed. I told you I was going to start on the lower keyboard. I did not. Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. The 12th of Never. Okay. Very
Did
good.
I hear a harp in there?
Thank you. Pardon?
Did I hear a harp in there?
You did, but it wasn't the harp. It was actually the altar style.
Okay,
It was the altar style. Yes.
all right, that's
So that's
pretty,
what you were hearing. So sometimes your altar style can substitute for the golden harp. So check that both. You don't want to put on altar style and the golden harp, because then they're going to be fighting with each other. Okay, for next week, oh boy, Unchained Melody. We've had that before. Let's do 2 again next week. Let's do Unchained Melody since we've had it before, and Until It's Time for You to Go. You okay with that?
yep.
Sounds great.
All right, we'll do those 2 for next week.
I don't think I'm gonna until it's time for me. But anyway.
If you do not have it, please email me, because I know sometimes you don't have those songs. Email me, and I will be very happy to scan you the song.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for joining us today. And don't forget the concert on Friday at 2 o'clock.
I was looking for Claire today. She's not on here.
She's not on today. How come?
I don't know. She was telling me she was going to be on, but I don't know.
Ooh, she's there. She's here.
Dawn, I'm assuming the books did not come in.
Books have not come in yet. Nope. I checked this morning. They are not there. As soon as they come in, I will be emailing the people that I have names on. I'm going right in order of who I took orders for. I've got 2 orders out there, and I'm going to put a 3rd order in. So I'm just going in order of who told me they needed the books.
Could you by chance send me music for Heart and Soul, Happy Birthday for Wednesday?
Who needs it?
Joanne?
Joanne, I will be very happy to do that. Okay. Shoot me an email and just remind me, okay?
Okay,
Carol
thank you.
needs it too.
Okay.
What
Yeah,
instrument are you playing on today?
Which instrument? This is the Prestige Plus today.
No. What's the name of the instrument today?
The book today, we are in number 274.
No, the instrument. What's
It's a
the
Prestige. It's a Prestige Plus.
Prestige. Oh, okay.
It's a Prestige Plus.
Yeah. Okay. I had one of those many years ago. Yeah.
We're replacing it tomorrow with an Imperial.
Oh, that'll help.
Yeah. Yep. So we're gonna do the concert on Friday on an Imperial.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
Great, bye-bye, thank you.
Unless anybody has an aria that they would like to loan me, that would be kind of fun. Or a marquee, that would be kind of fun.
Yeah.
You can use my Sterling at any time.
Thank you.
You guys are
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you so much. Love you guys. Bye.
Hey, guys.
Thank you, Dawn. You did
Have a
a
good
great
week.
job.
Bye.
Bye.